Hi, everyone. Sorry for the delay, but hi, everyone. Welcome to DVS's IIBA Spotlight Series, a series where we are highlighting some of the amazingly talented early career folks who made the shortlist in the last Information is Beautiful Awards. If you are a returning guest, welcome back. My name is Cedric Larry, and I'm the Early Career Director. Today, I'm super excited to be joined by our second speaker, Emmanuella Tudome. Emmanuella is a super talented business intelligence analyst at Levy Analytics with experience across finance, medical, insurance, and sales. A passionate member of the global Tableau community, she has built an extensive Tableau portfolio with some of her visualizations reaching over 20,000 views. Her work has earned her 3 Viz of the Day features, and she is a Tableau ambassador who volunteers with the Lagos Tableau user group and champions Makeover Monday as her favorite community project. Emmanuella, thank you for joining us, and I'm going to bring you onto the stage.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thank you for coming. So why don't you go ahead and share your screen and tell us more about your data viz journey.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Emmanuella, and I usually go by Ella, so Ella is very much fine. And yeah, welcome to my Spotlight series. And let's begin. So, a little about myself. I am a Tableau ambassador, and I'm part of a first time Tableau ambassador, and I'm part of the 2025 cohort. And I really enjoyed giving back to the community and being a member both on the giving and on the receiving end of what Tableau has to offer. I love Beyonce. She's my favorite musician. She's my favorite musician, and I really, really enjoy her music. My favorite fruits are apples. I don't know why. I just love them because they are red, big, and juicy. And I love to watch movies and I love TV shows. I did have a goal of watching 25 movies this year, 25 movies slash TV shows, and I've gone well above that number. I also like to crochet because I find it very relaxing since it's quite repetitive. And I love pop culture. I love anything pop culture, musician, gossip, drama from celebrities. That's my thing. And I'm also at the gym 5 times a week because it's the only form of movement that I get. When I'm not at the gym, I'm either sitting or laying on my bed. And I love to listen to albums. I'm a big music fan. And every weekend, I take out time to critique albums and push my opinions down people's throats, even if they didn't ask for it. So that's very much about me. And yeah, so we have a couple of things on the agenda today, about 7 things. We'll walk through my journey in the data visualization field and how I went about applying for the Information is Beautiful award and then going on to make the shortlist. We'll talk a bit about my shortlist project and we'll talk about the Tableau community, especially. And I will go on to highlight a couple of projects on my portfolio. And then I would share a handful of things that I've learned and picked up over the years. It's not been very long, but things that I think would help anybody on this call. So to begin, something I would like to call a timeline of fortunate events. Back in 2016, between 2016 and 2018, just right after I finished secondary school or high school to Americans, I took a gap year before uni, and I was bored and I didn't have anything to do. So I do what kids do. I was constantly and consistently on the internet trying to find anything that would, that I could find interesting, something new. I love to learn new things. I love novelty a lot. So while I was doing my little internet business while being bored at home, I came across a podcast. It's called Note to Self. And on that podcast, they had a guest, Mona Chalabi, and she came in to talk about her project, a data visualization project. And that's what got me started with data visualization. I won't say started, I would say my first ever introduction to what data visualization was. Cedric is going to put it in the comments so everybody can go check it out. It was an audio chat, and in the podcast, she talked about how a friend came up to her to ask her about, a certain question that is very much taboo. And she said, you know what, data can probably answer that. So the chat was about how to tell the size of the male genitals from how deep their voice was. So she had this audio chat, and you could, from the size of genitals, she could tell how deep. So you could tell how deep the size of the genital, how big the size of genital was by how deep their voice was. And I thought that was of the topic or anything, but because of how she was able to make something that I would actually not care about on a good day very interesting through data, and thus began my journey of data visualization. I was very much in awe, and I wondered, wow, how can people take something so boring that I won't care about on a good day and make it so interesting and beautiful that that would be all I want to talk about. So I went on and I continued looking for things that would spark my curiosity. And I found data sketches on another podcast, because at that time, podcast was my source of entertainment. So I found data sketches, and I also found the Dear Data project. So those three things were my introduction to data visualization. So as things happen, finally got into uni, thank God. And while I was in uni, I literally did nothing with database. It was just something that I knew about and I told everybody about. So I went to uni, and in my third year of uni, I decided that, you know what, maybe I should actually take data analysis seriously, and I think that would be a good career path for me. So in my third year of uni, I picked up an Excel course. I won't call it a course. It was just a 4-hour video on YouTube. Took me forever to finish, but I finished it. And that's my journey into data analysis. And I randomly found Tableau by chance. I think it was just a Google search, and I found somebody's viz that I really liked. I was like, oh, what's this thing? Tableau. And that was how I found Tableau. So moving on from that, eventually left uni, or I think in my very last year of uni, I don't remember now, timelines. I eventually got very much involved in the Tableau community, and I participated in Makeover Mondays. I do them a lot. They're my favorite projects. I enjoy that every week it's a new topic. It's a really exciting project. And I got involved with the Tableau community by asking questions, posting my own work, being active on socials, and just engaging and learning from the community. And in this very present moment right now, I'm a Tableau ambassador, and I made it to the Information is Beautiful award shortlist. That's crazy. And I also volunteer at the Lagos Tug. So yeah, that's my journey up until this point. So next, I had 2 submissions that made it to the long list, but this one in particular made it to the short list. I would like to talk about the one that made it to the long list first. They are both Makeover Monday submission. I think that's a very common theme when it comes to my database career, is that I love to do Makeover Mondays. It's my favorite thing. So I'm just gonna go over to Tableau Public so I can talk about this viz. So yeah, this is my visa made it to the long list. It was just another Makeover Monday submission. And if I remember clearly, I was just trying something new at this point. I believe I wanted to try this bee swarm chart. That was what prompted me to make this. It's an extension by Ladera Viz, where it has several charts that are not native to Tableau, complex charts. So I really wanted to try it because everybody was doing it and I didn't want to be left out. So I made this, and it's a very simple viz about animal rights in 67 countries in the world, where I use shapes to denote if they support certain things, yes, no, or partial. And it can just has this really snazzy interactivity where you can select questions. Do they recognize that animals can suffer? And you can see all the countries that recognize if an animal can suffer. You can see that China doesn't think so, but um, United Kingdom definitely thinks animals can suffer. We have countries and where they are on the V, so you can just go over them and see what they think about certain things, how they feel about animals around the world. Do they have any laws about animal cruelty? Um, Mali has, yeah, they do. Mali has, and some countries do not. So we can see yes, no, partial, and yeah, it's a really cool way to explore this topic. And I enjoyed making it because I did learn a couple of things about that. So yeah. Um, okay. Um, so back to my presentation. So now we're going to talk about my submission that eventually made it to the shortlist. I'm going to say that at first I was a little bit skeptical about applying, and I only applied because someone had said, "What do you actually have to lose when you apply?" Absolutely nothing, because the worst that would happen is that you just make it to the gallery, and I mean, you're not losing anything. It's not like you pay to get shortlisted or get on the long list. So I started to apply, and this made it to the short list. I was really, really excited and I could not believe it. I remember making a video and sending it to my friend on Snap. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she didn't know what it was. And I was like, oh, I made it to one really big award. And she was like, I'm so happy for you. So yeah, I wasn't expecting it and it was really, really nice. Yeah. Um, this is also a Makeover Monday project. But most importantly, I want to talk about everything surrounding this viz. I believe this was my first viz of 2024. And back in 2023, towards the end of the year, I believe I started reading a book called Chat Spark by Ali Taban. And before now, I used to feel like I wasn't creative. I mean, I knew I could make really cool viz. It's one thing to make really cool viz, and it's another thing to have the identity or identify as someone that is creative. And Ali's book really did that for me. So Chat Spark, she goes into ways you can be creative, because creativity is not a thing that you are, it's an action that you take, and it's very specific to data visualization. And she talks about, how to extract inspiration from pieces that you find interesting. She has a method called the X-ray method. That's my favorite. So whenever you look at a viz quickly, you find something that is exciting about it. You find something that you would want to implement at another time. You find something that is absurd about it, something unusual, and find something that follows the rules of data visualization. Also, around that time, I was reading a lot of things about colors. On Data Wrapper, there's a lot of blogs about colors. I highly recommend it. And because I had read the book, and I'm always on Tableau Public going through things, I found this visa I really liked. And yeah, just gonna go to it. found a Viz that I really like, which was my inspo source. It's I believe this is also a Makeover Monday project. Yeah, it is. It's a Makeover Monday project, and it's by Tamas. And I really love the yellow and the triangles. I really love them. I thought they were cool. So that was something I was excited about. And I just like, you know what? I might actually try this some other time. So I didn't cook up the entire thing in my head. I was inspired by somebody else. Yeah. So that's that about my Makeover Monday project. I also like to share my Makeover Monday project. It's a static view, so there is no interactivity, and I'll work through some things about it too. Okay. So it's about the top 50 highest paid athletes. I really thought the data set was quite simple and straight to the point. How much money do they earn on field and how much money do they earn off field? Yeah. Well, with data set like this, there are a lot of things you could highlight, but I really wanted to highlight the difference between how much money they make playing their sport and how much money they make off it, maybe from endorsements and their personal business. I tried to encode as many things as possible in a way that was presentable and nice to look at, which is very important when it comes to data visualization. We have Ronaldo and Messi on top two. And I tried to, if you can see from the legend that I have here, I have their age, I have the sport that they play as icons, I have their gender, and I have the size of the triangles is basically how much money they make. Yeah, and one interesting thing about this viz is that there is only one woman on it, and that's Serena Williams, and she's number 49. At this point, she wasn't earning anything playing her sport. I believe she had retired at this point. So it's basically $0 million, and she earns 45 million outside. So that's crazy that she still makes it to the top 50. And there's also Tom Brady too. He wasn't making much from his sports, but he was doing quite well on his own outside. Really static views, and it makes use of map layers. Map layers is a feature in Tableau that allows you to have multiple layers on map points. And because the Tableau community are filled with geniuses, they've come up with different ways to do data wizardry, Tableau wizardry, and just come up with cool ways to make something as beautiful as this. Yeah. Um, so I keep on talking about Tableau, and up until this point, every viz that I have made has been inspired by the community. I do not take the community for granted. It's the reason why I know the things I know, I can do the things I do. So different things makes up the community. There is the community project and there's Tableau Public. Tableau Public is what I would call a public gallery of visits from many many Tableau users, power users, not every Tableau user. It's a free portfolio site. I think that's a really cool way to think about it. People have profiles and they post their visualizations and really crazy things there. And community projects are projects by the community on different topics or skills. We have Makeover Monday, which I love. There is also Back to These Basics, Workout Wednesdays, and all these tools and projects are for you to learn Tableau and be part of the community. And there is Viz of the Day. Viz of the Day every weekday. Tableau would select one out of the millions of vises that have been published to say, hey, this is a really cool vis by this really cool person, and here, look at it. This is how good Tableau gets. So it's also a very cool way to get inspiration, because it's at the very height of what's capable with Tableau and what people are doing. So it keeps you up to date with how people are using the features that are available to Tableau in Tableau. There's also Tableau Rising Stars. This is a honorable mention, because I was part of the 2023 cohort or 2024. I'm kind of like this with the timeline, but yeah, it's not recognized by Tableau itself, but it's shepherded by Adam Miko, and every year he would select people that are not Tableau ambassador yet, but are doing really good things in the community. And these people will go on to be Tableau ambassadors, visionaries, lead projects, and even work for Tableau themselves. And I was fortunate to be in one of the cohorts, and and now I'm a Tableau ambassador. So yeah, I would want to walk through a couple of projects on my portfolio. And this one, with every project, I would say I always have a reason for doing it. It's very rare that I just do a project for the sake of doing it. I probably want to learn something, I want to try something, or I've seen something that inspires me. So I would want to try it. For this project, I wanted to recreate a Tableau template. Tableau has this thing called Tableau Accelerator that is filled with templates across different industries. And you can just go there to get inspiration on business dashboards that you would like to make. So I went ahead, and it's functional, the template, but data visualization has gone beyond the need for functionality. Functionality, yes, but it also has to be pretty intuitive and usable. So I made my version of the dashboard using the data. I'm just gonna go to Tableau Public real quick. So that's the V's. Um, okay. Back to the slides. So yeah, I also have another project, student performance tracker. This is one of my most recent V's, and in this dashboard, I think I had made a dashboard that I wasn't particularly in love with. So I wanted to challenge myself to make something better than I did the last time. And usually, when I want to make dashboards, I would sketch on my notes, and I don't understand what I've sketched after a couple of days. So I tried out a new tool called Escali Draw, and I just put down all the information I think I would want to show. And yeah, I'm gonna take you to that page real quick. Um, hmm. Okay. Um, let's see. So I just did a little sketch and tried to write out everything I think a teacher would want to know about a student, just play around with some chat choices. I didn't eventually go with everything here, but it gave me enough idea to get started. And yeah, so I made this was my final viz. Very much similar to, I won't say similar, but you can tell that some ideas did spill over from the initial sketch up until this point after going through lots of iterations. Yeah, I'm just gonna go on Tableau Public real quick. So for this viz, this is one of my viz of the days, by the way. For this viz, this is very much centered about tracking the performance of a student. I mean, I used to be a student for a very long time, so I think I know what what a teacher would care about when it comes to students. And I also did some research. I use ChatGPT a lot when it comes to finding KPIs that matter, that fits what I'm trying to show. Like to do a little bit of back and forth with ChatGPT, and I also created this data set using ChatGPT. So for this one, my main goal for creating this dashboard, aside making a dashboard that was interactive, that was intuitive, I really wanted to focus more on the interactivity of the dashboard and the UI, how the user feels when they use a dashboard like this. So everything, even down to the color choices, is quite intentional. If I'm going to walk through the dashboard, if I'm going to walk through the dashboard, I have three KPIs here, and I have the grade, the attendance rate, and the assessment submission rate, how often they submit assignments. 'Cause I think those are things that would tell if a student is doing well. And it's one thing to have like the score or the rounded up grade at the end of every semester. But it's another thing to be able to compare. So I thought it was a good idea to hide that at the back. So I have these buttons, which I use a lot in this dashboard, that you can use to switch. You can use to switch and see month by month how well a student is doing and if they are doing well, and just a more granular view where you go beyond the numbers. Something that I did implement in this viz is having having extra wordings to call whatever is being shown out. So I have things like Sophia ranked fourth in class with an average grade of 74. This is something I find very that I do a lot when it comes to my visits. I like to have multiple layers that share the same information. So it's not just numbers, it's about adding context to numbers, because that's what dashboards do. They give context to numbers. Switching between views is something that I implemented a lot with this. So I also have like two charts where you have this dot plot, and you also have a radar chart. It's a more fancy way of directly comparing how a student does in particular subjects. There's something in UI called progressive disclosure, and I also use that here, where it's fine, you can see their scores and you can see their grade. But what if you wanted to see more and you just click on the button and it expands? This is a really cool way of showing more context, because that's what business dashboards are all about, adding context to numbers, because it's context that makes numbers useful. Yeah, I really enjoyed making this. Everything about it was nice to work on. And also this is another thing I worked on. So it's fine, you're seeing the grade of a student and their numbers, but knowing the student on a personal level too also counts. So I have like a button where it brings out an overlay that tells you something about the student, This image was generated by ChatGPT, by the way. So it tells you about the ethnicity, the date of birth, if they have some allergies, if they have some learning struggles, and if they have some hobbies. Yeah, this is one of my favorite dashboards, to be very honest. I really enjoy making it. Yeah. So back to my slides. Okay. Another V's I would like to highlight is this one. This is a collab project with my friend Golan Adebayo. Is a Tableau visionary and a Tableau ambassador, and we worked on this together, and it was a really fun project to work on because I do enjoy working with him. And it's a guide with 22 charts where we not just show you the charts, but also tell you a scenario where you would most likely use the chart. And I think that's what makes it even more useful. I'm just gonna quickly go on Tableau Public and just show what that looks like real quick. Um, yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is what this V's looks like, and true to its title, it's a guide. It doesn't just show it doesn't just show you chat and be like, hey, look at this. It actually gives you scenarios so you can go through a couple of them. It tells you when to use them. And we have it in both light and dark mode for, viewers' pleasure. And yeah, we have scenario, the solution, why you will use it, in what circumstances would you use the chat. Highly recommend that you have it saved on Tableau Public because it's a really handy tool. Okay. So, last but not the least, I believe, is this visa I made about the Grammys, and I made this visa out of my love for data visualization. Yes, fine, but my love for music and award drama because the Grammys are quite messy, and there's always yeah, nominated every year. So I enjoyed making this because I was watching a lot of videos about Grammy and the drama around it. I titled this "The Women Behind the Gold" because although women, maybe it's just me, but I listen to a lot of music made by women, and I find it odd that women don't get as much recognition as they should. Um, so those are some of the things I try to explore with these Vs. I explore things like nomination gaps, explore things like genre gaps, um, try to make it fun for myself, and yeah, taking a moment to load. So I have this is about the 67th Grammy, which is the last one. And I have things like, oh, how many percentage of women made it to got the top four? If you know anything about the Grammys, there are four big awards: Song of the Year, Record of the Year, Album of the Year, and Best New Artist. These are like the main general categories. And from these V's, I find it odd that one in four nominations go to women. We can see that best new artist, we have 50% of the artists that I think there are about eight nominations, and four of them are women. And even with album of the year, we have a lot of women getting nominations. But it looks like there's a lot of nominations, right? That's not necessarily true because we can see that year after year, from 2015 to 2025, there are loads and loads of, there's a large gap between women being nominated, even if they make a lot of music over the years. And then I went on to say, it's not all that bad. There's a silver lining, even if um, women. Oh, okay. Before I get to that, I wanted to say that because there are fewer nominations, there are very, very big gaps for when women reach. Like, it's almost like every year there is a new record. Oh, this person broke a 60-year record, a 13-year record. Like, you see that I love Beyonce a lot because I was really excited for her to be the first ever Black woman to receive, Best Country Album of the Year. And there's also her. She's also won Best Country, um, best first Black woman to win Best Country Dual Performance. I think with Miley Cyrus, and it's a 13-year gap. And then Doechii, first Black solo female rap artist to win Best Rap Album. No woman has ever won this award. The other person would be Lauryn Hill, but she won that being part of the group. Then I went on to explore the gap between men, women, and then there's this extra blockage for Black women. And there are some genres that women are not even part of the questions. We have things like country, Black women are not part of the question, and women in general, we have rock, country, and metal. And I have this filter where you can explore your favorite genre. We have rap, country, jazz, rock, metal. So just play around with, you know, the genres that you like, but it's not all that bad. Even when we have very few nominations, we have gaps, we have this, people are always trying to break records. There are still women out there that are very much inspiring and I would say unstoppable. And of course, I have to make Beyonce number one because yeah, she has the highest number of nominations, 99. There's Taylor Swift, Adele. I have all my favorite, not all of them, but most of them. I have Lady Gaga. These are women that I think, even with all, even with everything that has tried to weigh them down, they still come on top. There's Charlie XCX, Doechii, Sabrina Carpenter, and yeah. So those are some of the visits I would like to highlight, and yeah. So just to wrap it up quickly, I'm going to go over some things that I have picked up um, since the beginning of my database career. Um, so community, you can't do all of this without community. It's impossible to do it alone. And it's just as simple as that. You need people, you need ideas from other people to create yours. And imposter syndrome is pretty normal and it's not unique to you. Whenever I have a problem, I like to ask myself, is this problem unique to me? If the answer is no, then I'm fine. And third one is trust your own momentum. Define what success means to you. Don't compare yourself to others. You know, explore, be happy. I mean, when you make projects for Tableau Public or your portfolio, it's a thing of joy. So you should enjoy it and do what you love. And number four still follows that. Follow your interest, follow your joy. Everything that I've ever made comes from a place of, oh, I really want to try X. I really like what that looks like on that person's portfolio and I want to do it. And the final one is that the process is iterative. Every vis that I've made, I didn't just come up with the final idea. It took me number of trials and tweaking to get it. The career, building a career, you don't just wake up one day and know how to do everything right. Even the tools you want to learn, you make mistakes. And yeah, um, that's the end of my talk. Thank you, and you can follow me on X, LinkedIn, and Tableau Public at Emmanuella Tudome. Yeah, that's the end of my presentation.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me now, Emmanuella?
What?
Okay, maybe not.
Okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. We had a few technical issues, but Emmanuella did very good sharing all her beautiful work. So now is the time that people can share their questions in the chat. I'll just start it off with a very quick question that I will put in the chat, but everybody share your questions and then I will show this. So the first question is, what's your secret to getting all of these views from your perspective? Talk to us about what you believe draws a bunch of people to a particular data visualization, maybe even Tableau.
Okay. When it comes to getting views on data visualization, I think how beautiful it looks plays a role because people are quite visual, and whenever they see something on their feed, say LinkedIn or X, and it looks beautiful and looks interactive and just sparks joy, they are more likely to go on Tableau Public and have a look at it. So I would say focus very much on the visuals of whatever it is that you are, or whatever viz that you've made. Interactive viz do get a lot of views, and also beautiful visits. So colors, visual, we are visual, so of course that will get us a lot of views.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And I agree. I think the interactivity like really helps as well. Um, And I think along with that, I think something else that was really interesting about your work and the discussion about community is the next question I wanted to ask, which is like one of the hardest things about creating personal projects is dedicating the time to them outside of work. How do you intentionally make time for personal projects and even find the time to coordinate and collaborate with others?
Okay. When it comes to personal projects outside of, I've learned to not think I'm too slow because I want in my mind I think I can make a viz in 4 hours or something, but it never happens. I have to think through the ideas. It's an iterative process. I'll say take as much time as possible. A couple of hours a week goes a long way. Every other day doesn't have to be every day. You want to be excited to do it because you're not getting paid to do it. Personal, so yeah, take out from your personal time to do it. When it comes to collaboration, I find that I've I've collaborated with Golan a couple of times on multiple projects, so we kind of know each other's work style. It wasn't new to us. I'll say communicating well and understanding that both of you have different schedules helps a lot when it comes to collaborating on personal projects.
Yeah, solid advice. And I think that new perspective of like really understanding the other person's style is so important. Like
Yeah.
some people work best at night, some people like messaging a lot. So if you want to collaborate, I think it's difficult in general, but I think that's solid piece of advice. We have one question from Hope, which I will show on the screen. Do you ever get overwhelmed by the data or the topic? How do you work through the overwhelm or break down a project to be more manageable?
Um, I think I get overwhelmed by almost every project because I have a lot of ideas. I think the problem is actually having a lot of ideas, not even the data itself. Most times, you're trying to do too many things at once. So I would say take it one step at a time. Don't try to make it look good immediately. Try to get it out and then just keep on iterating and iterating. And if you have an idea of what the V's might look like, maybe start from top to bottom. So at every point in time, you're focusing on just a part of the V's instead of thinking about the V's as a whole. That helps with understanding the data, thinking through chat choices and color and interactivity. So breaking it down into tiny steps helps a lot.
Thank you for that. Um, we also have another question from a wall. They say, "Hi, I really appreciate the storytelling aspect of your visualizations. Could you please share how you select colors for your data visuals to achieve a good balance with the background?" Yeah, your
Um,
visualizations are really beautiful.
Thank you. For me, one thing I do is that I steal a lot. I don't come up with everything myself. So if I find a biz that I think looks pretty, I'm going to like, okay, I'm going to steal that next time. And sometimes I just, try to play around what I think looks good to me. And I'll say reading about colors too also helps a lot. A lot. Like reading about things makes you aware, and that's how you're able to make decisions unconsciously. So if you're just starting out, I would say find a biz that you like and just steal the colors. Like that's the fastest and the easiest way to go about choosing colors. And with time, you get better with it by reading and practice.
Yeah, I love that advice. Steal colors from someone else. Great advice. Let's see. Do we have another question in the chat? I can ask one more. I think one of the things I was really interested in, I talked to you a little bit about it, is the following questions. So, how many times do you find yourself making a data viz and not posting it?
This happens to me a lot. I feel for every biz that I publish, I think there are about two Bs that I probably got tired of and frustrated with, and I just kept them. But one thing I always try to encourage myself with is that nothing is a waste. If I don't finish a biz, the ideas are still mine. I just take them to the next biz, take them to the next biz. So it doesn't matter how you should try to post often and finish your work, but it, even trying to make a biz is also practice that you can bring into your next biz. So nothing is a waste, honestly. It's not just about posting, it's also about creating, letting your ideas come to paper, come to the screen rather. The ideas that don't work for a particular data set might work for another one. So nothing is a waste.
Great advice. And let's see, maybe we have time for one more. I can share this one. But I think a really good question is, whose Tableau portfolio are you always finding yourself going to the most?
Hey, there is Golaho. Like he makes really good business that I like. I always like every one of his biz. There is Chimdi. Um, there is Ellen Blackburn. There's Tamas. There is Serena. There is Nicole. Nicole. I think every Tableau visionary or every Tableau ambassador at some point have probably gone to their profile to just pick up one thing at the very least. So every Tableau visionary and every Tableau ambassador have gone to their portfolio to check out something before.
Yeah, borrowing a little bit from everyone. I really like it, or stealing from everyone. Um, yeah, that's really great advice. And Emmanuella will probably share this list of amazing Tableau visionaries for you to check out. So we're gonna post this live stream on YouTube, and you'll get to see it there. But that's pretty much the end of the um, uh, session. And if you'd like to rewatch this session, you can check it out on our YouTube channel. But Emanuela, thank you for doing this. Your visualizations are so amazing, and your presentation was really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And if you miss any of our talks, like I said, you can check them out on our IIBA Spotlight Series playlist on our YouTube channel. Let me make sure I plug that in. And if you want to see any of our future events, you can check them out on our DVS Eventbrite page. And our next sessions are going to be November 1st and November 7th. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to do our last talks, and we hope you'll join us for it. So everyone, thank you. Thank you, Emanuela, one more time. And that's it from us. Enjoy your day, everyone. Take care.